Paradise City Comic Con. We're back at the Miami Airport Convention Center. That's of course in South Florida, in Miami. And this is awesome here. Got you on this special Royal Rumble 2018 WWE Comics. And a man who's had a history working with the wrestlers. Writing Headlocked comic series. Wrestlers have done artwork, and wrestlers have written stories. Michael Kingston, the leader of Headlocked, also has an interesting story to tell about this WWE Royal Rumble 2018 special edition that involves AJ Styles. Here's the man, Michael Kingston.
How you doing?
Thank you so much, as always. All right, so tell us the little backstory, how you got involved with WWE and AJ Styles for this.
So I had collaborated with AJ for Headlocked, and he's a friend of mine. I'm happy he's doing well, and I thought it'd be cool to work with him again. Obviously under contract. It's really only one way that's going to happen. So I was like, hey, you want to do something? He was cool with it. So I went to Boom and pitched the idea of doing a story with AJ. And they had said, well, we have this Royal Rumble special open, and we'd really like to do something with that, considering he made his debut there. And so we started talking about it. And one of the things for me that never really made sense to me with AJ's run was he came in as a good guy, and he was good. And then, like, he just turned on John Cena, and before they even had a match. So, like, I don't know, it didn't jive right with me a little bit, and so I wanted to try to fill in the gaps a little bit. So we created this story that basically starts from the time that AJ leaves the locker room to the time he debuts at the Rumble, and it sort of ties everything together about his whole feud with John Cena, and sort of lays the backstory of, have you ever seen Heat, where Robert De Niro and Al Pacino have that confrontation in the coffee shop? We set up a little backstage confrontation with AJ and John Cena, and we're sort of sniffing each other out, and you know, where obviously they have their sort of public personas, where AJ is doing the sort of good old Southern boy, and you know, John is, you know, Mr. Hustle, Loyalty, and Respect, but in the back they're just kind of a couple of alpha males, like circling around and for lack of a better word, I guess, sniffing each other's butts to see what's up. And you know, they have this sort of confrontation, and AJ kind of feels like, you know, Cena's got him figured out, and then he calls Gallows and Anderson, and then that sort of, you know, like, we'll be there soon, play nice till we get there, and that gives them, you know, it sort of puts a bow on everything to me. You know, it ties everything together. Some of the, you know, AJ's comments about John Cena burying people, and you know, just the club's involvement and all of that. Like, it puts a nice point on it, and I think fills in all the holes.
What type of involvement did AJ have in working with him on this?
So we worked on it together. You know, we talked about it a little bit, and sort of the best way to, you know, we talked about different things, and we kind of came up with the idea, and then usually the collaborative process, like, I'll write the script and send it to him. He looks at it, he's like, all right, we're good with this, you know, and then we sort of go back and forth on some of the, you know, some things, the dialogues, notes, whatever, until we come up with something that we're really happy with, and then, you know, it's out there into the world. And I think I'm really happy with it. This is the type of stuff I love to do, you know, add layers to an existing thing. And I have a story next week coming out in WWE 13 that I did with Samoa Joe. It sort of explains how Joe and Nakamura weren't drafted in the first draft split, or brand split. And I think that also, to me, was a big, weird sticking point for a lot of people. Like, you know, no disrespect, but like Apollo Crews had been on NXT for like a minute. Like, why would you draft Apollo Crews and not Samoa Joe or Shinsuke Nakamura? So, like, we explained that whole process and how that happened. And that was a lot of fun too. So I think people will dig it. That's next month or next week in WWE 13.
And AJ Styles and Samoa Joe are big into comics, as are many wrestlers.
And I collaborated with both of them on Headlocked before, and I've known them for a long time, and you know, we're both sort of mutual fans of each other's work, and that gives us, you know, we have a similar mindset, I think, about storytelling, and I think that makes it they're fun guys to work with. So this was an opportunity for me to work with them again, and you know, we took advantage of it.
Can you give us just a little preview, because we want fans to get the comic?
So here's some of the art for it. You know, this is AJ. So this is the Royal Rumble, and this is the commentary. And some of this is pulled right from.
Get this in.
There we go. Some of this is pulled right from the actual commentary from the pre-show with Corey Graves and Renee and Jerry Lawler. You know, I had to get the King in there because he's my boy.
That's
so,
your guy. That's
you
right. He's done some artwork for you.
Right. So. And then we try to make it, you know, AJ walking around, he sees old friends like, you know, him and Sami Zayn and Cesaro and different types of people he would have had relationships with. So, you know, we tried to make it all feel very authentic and, you know, sort of rooted in storyline, but also rooted in truth. And I think we really did. I don't know, I'm really happy with it. So, you know, I mean, that sounds conceited or whatever, but I really
think it's not, Michael, because I know you take pride in everything you do.
We really did a good job with it. And I think the people who followed, like AJ and Cena's feud for me was amazing. I never in a million years would have thought of John Cena as AJ's like dream partner. But to me, I could have watched them do anything. Their promos were great, their matches were great, like everything about them clicked so well. So it was a real good opportunity for me to get to sort of have a hand in shaping some of it, and that was something I couldn't really pass up.
It's amazing what has all come really because of what you've been able to do with Headlocked. Where can people go to get any of your work, keep up with things?
The books are in comic stores now. The Royal Rumble special's out this week, and WWE 13's out next week. For Headlock stuff, it's headlockcomic.com, Facebook, Twitter is all Headlock Comic. It's all run by me, so easy to find.
Michael, thank you as always.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it.